This is exactly what we wanted to see as the Phoenix Suns come out ferocious in this game versus the Los Angeles Clippers in one many fans, possibly including myself, thought would be a lose-lose situation for the team. They stepped up and they delivered when it mattered most for Mike Budenholzer as this win is just another stamping on putting a great smile on Suns fans. And we're here to break it down on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez with my guy Curtis. Curtis, how we doing today, my guy?
I'm doing good, doing good. It was a banger of a game. Like you said, lose lose. I thought we were coming into this one. James Harden has been playing so well as of late, and they're just a much higher seed than us. I thought that they were gonna take us out. I thought we were gonna put up a fight because we've been playing so well lately. I thought we were gonna take a L here going into the game, but it's great to see the Suns rally together and take this one.
Exactly. And I feel that kind of the same way. And that kind of gets us into our first topic here because the Suns were without one of their premier defenders tonight. And we have a little bit of an injury update going over that as well. As we saw with this Phoenix Suns team from Gerald Bourguet, that Mike Budenholzer said before the game that the last 48 hours have been positive in regards to Ryan's Dunn ankle. In terms of a timetable, Coach Budenholzer went on the trot and said, the true, we'll see how it responds. He declined giving an opinion on whether he's day to day, joking that he's not on the medical staff. But the Suns were without their player in Ryan Dunn, but were able to show some pretty solid defense. When you hear this kind of report, Curtis, what does that make you feel? To me personally, it makes me feel a little bit uplifted. Even though they're not giving us an exact timetable, I do feel like Ryan Dunn isn't going to be out for an extended period of time.
And that's a good look. We need that defensive hustle on the other end. This game might have been busted a little bit wider open if we had that more defensive ferocity. But I do think the bright side of this game was playing with a tighter roster. We only had what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in rotation tonight. Right? That was showing that these guys all know how to play together. I love that. So I'm not mad at it at all.
No, I think that's absolutely perfect. And that kind of ties into the next part as well because they did play with a short rotation. So let's get into the game breakdown and let's get into it because this was amazing. Like I said, Curtis, this is exactly what Phoenix Suns fans want to see here as the Suns go on a 3-game win streak here and are looking pretty solid with their new revamped roster. Now, obviously, there might still have to be some tweaks on the outer edges, but realistically, this team is looking solid. Like we said, they were able to beat the Los Angeles Clippers 111 to 109, and it was a little bit of a late game thriller there, but the Suns were a majority holding their own in that fourth quarter, had a 10-point lead going down with the last couple minutes. The Clippers were able to fight their way back, but for a majority of the game, the Suns were holding their own versus this Clippers team. The third quarter, a little bit scary for Suns fans as the Clippers went on a 20-9 run. But Curtis, what really screams out to you from looking at this stat sheet? Obviously, you mentioned there's 8 guys that played a short roster, but who really pops out to you tonight for this Suns team?
The pop out tonight was Booker. I think he had a really good game tonight. 9 for 21 on from the field, 5 for 10 from three, man, and he was hitting some real contested strong threes. So he looked very confident tonight. So he's gonna be my breakout for tonight. I mean, the rest of his stat line looks really good too, man. 7 rebounds, 8 assists. He got him a steal in there, and only 2 turnovers. Having the ball for a good portion of the game, 39 minutes, only 2 turnovers. That's a good look because we were just talking about recently that the team in general has been turning over the ball a little bit more than we would like. They're still not in the very very high margins, but it's still more than you would like if you want to continue to win games.
No, I completely agree, and they've had some little bit of discrepancies there. And with Booker, we saw in the most recent performance he didn't have the greatest one, so it's nice to have a little bounce back. Is always great from Devin Booker after a slow start with fans, coming at his head with players like Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. How this is nice to see from Devin Booker. We saw Durant also have a pretty solid game, but one guy that I want to mention that had a pretty great game, the guy that stood out to me was Grayson Allen, and we talked about him a little bit before we started recording, Curtis. But 6 for 10 from the field. 4 for 7 from 3-point range, 6 rebounds, and a plus 12 from Grayson Allen, hitting those big time threes when the Suns need him. We've talked about him possibly being involved in trades, but he's obviously a big spark plug for this bench unit. What were your thoughts with Grayson Allen tonight?
That man was stroking the shot, man. The man was hitting on all cylinders, and he was really hustling. You saw him moving around the court a lot. He got 27 minutes tonight. I mean, he was a catalyst. He was something we needed out there on the floor. So, we did talk about him getting moved, and that's the nature of the beast. It's the trade deadline. Sometimes guys that even if they're playing well, it would still be okay to go ahead and move them around. But luckily, we had him tonight because we needed him for this win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the Suns kind of had to do that type of route with a player like Josh Okogie because he's been standing out recently on Charlotte, even tonight, making a big
Yeah.
impact, hitting some big threes, playing some solid defense, finding his role there. And that's something that, I've talked about on Suns Digest and I think on to you off the record, just how he would be just a great fit for that Charlotte team. And I'm glad he's finding a role there. But like you said, Grayson Allen being here for the Suns team right now was definitely needed for tonight's victory. But we've obviously talked about some great things with this Suns victory. But let's look at the other side because unfortunately, in my eyes, there were two players that didn't necessarily stand out for this Suns team. I do want to give credit to Mason Plumlee before I gloss just over him because he played pretty solid tonight as well. But the two guys I want to talk about are Nick Richards and Bradley Beal. As we saw, Nick Richards unfortunately did not really finish the game well with the Suns. He got into some early foul trouble, had 4 fouls, but two really early fouls, only played 20 minutes. And we've seen with Richards, him and your last post game obviously go off, getting, 20 points, 20 rebounds, being that dominant beast. We saw that in that Detroit game versus the Wizards and versus the Wizards. But we've also seen him get into foul trouble versus the Clippers, versus the Cavaliers, some of these premier bigs. So obviously, it looks like it could be a little bit of an issue. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But what is your thought with Richards' play tonight?
I don't have any problem with it. I mean, you're going up against the Clippers where you got guys like James Harden, Norman Powell, even Derek Jones. They're gonna get in there and get into your grill and they're gonna force some fouls. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get your foul numbers up. I mean, we even go down there and we look at Mason Plumlee. Plumlee only played 25 minutes. He had 5 fouls, right? So it's not like it was a his fault type of thing. It's just the nature of the beast going up against the Clippers. You're gonna get your postmen into some foul trouble. So I'm not mad at him at all. I do wish he could have stayed on the floor a little bit longer. 20 minutes after having that 34-minute game last time it's really. I mean, we could have used him. We could have used him because that third quarter is kind of got dicey because he was missing for a little bit of it. But either way, I'm not mad at him at all.
Like you said, I think you hit that on all points, and I don't think we should be too frustrated with Nick Richards, like you're saying. Obviously, he's still got to work his way, kind of figure out where he's really going to stand out with this Suns team. But truly, he has shown us that he can shine great. But another player as well that didn't perform that great was Bradley Beal. Now he was a plus 10, did pretty solid, but fortunately didn't do the greatest. Shooting 1 for 5 from 3 point range, coming off the bench, and we've seen Beal have this variance. You know what I mean? Have games where he's
Mhm.
20 points, really really dominant off the bench, and have some inconsistent games as well. And with the trade rumors circling with all this type of jazz, I find it a little bit frustrating to see. What are your kind of thoughts? Do you think the trade rumors might be getting to his head possibly? Is there just him having a bad game? Do you expect him to bounce back?
Think he just might have had a bad game, to be honest. I mean, I think he's been playing pretty solid as of late. So you just have one of these real quick, because when you talk about that, then we got to go back and we talk about Booker, right? Because
Exactly.
because Booker has had lackluster games as of late. Not any in the liking of this one that we see from
Mm-hmm.
Beal. It's not been that bad, but there's been some bad ones on Booker's side too. So Beal, I want to talk about the positives. I mean, look down the stretch. He hit two very clutch free throws that kept us in the lead. I think it put us in a 4 point lead. And then he also was out there having fun with the team. A lot of smiles, a lot of banter, a lot of good energy. He was bright eyed and bushy tailed out there on the court. And if he's happy here, then that's what I want to see in next game. I'm expecting him to have a better performance.
I agree, and I like you said, we were talking about how he was being all smiles before we started recording, and that's just great to see with him trying to reconcile that relationship with this Phoenix Suns organization, just in case something possibly doesn't happen. But Curtis, before we sign off, I got to ask you a question here before we dive off, and it is what was your favorite moment from tonight's contest? I know that there were a lot of great moments from this Suns game, but if you had to pick a standout moment, let me know your thoughts, and everyone in the comment section, drop down your favorite moment from tonight as well.
I already got you, man. I wish we could put the replay right here so we could all watch it together. But whenever Booker hit that fading to the left one hander fader, bro,
Yes,
amazing,
yes.
amazing. That was my favorite moment. He
Dude,
he sprayed that bad boy. I thought he was gonna miss. He hit that mug.
And I tweeted it out right after that happened, and that was going to be my key moment as well, man. Like just the pure clutchness that he had in his veins when he hit that shot, and just how effective he really was in leading this Suns team in that little second half run after the Clippers went on that big run. And Booker and Durant were both hitting clutch shots, back to back late in the fourth quarter to get that big lead. Unfortunately, it did dwindle down a little bit, and if you just like looked at the box score, you'd think this game was a little bit closer than it was. But obviously, the Clippers dominated that third quarter, came back a little bit in the fourth, but the Suns mainly had control of this game due to the fact of the standout play from guys like Grayson Allen, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, which really performed through. And like I said, this is exactly what Phoenix Suns fans want to see every single time they come out on the floor is a big win, because chasing and going up in these standings in the Western Conference is necessary. But guys, thank you guys so much for hanging. Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
moved up into the ninth seed, dude.
Let's go.
Look, dog, we're right there. We're 2 games behind. No, well, I guess the way you break it down, we're 3 games behind the Mavericks, but yeah, essentially we're 2 wins behind the Mavericks. Yeah.
And I truly think with everyone being so close, any flip of a switch of one team having a bad losing streak and the Suns having a winning streak like this could just easily change things for the Suns. And even if they make some more minor moves, I think that adds so much more. But guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here on Suns Digest, where we broke down this post game, going over exactly what we want to see. Like I said, you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support. And Curtis and I are super, super appreciative. So let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section, how you guys ultimately feel about this game. And if you want to make sure you stay up to every update on everything revolving around this team, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the family. We have been soaring up through the rankings. We're almost at 2,200 subscribers, and we were just at last month around 1,800. So you guys have been absolutely killing it, pushing us up in that algorithm. So continue to give us the support. We super really do appreciate it. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, y'all.